Hello, Matuhu Ramige. Welcome to Ven Conmigo. This week, my video is a little bit late because a lot happened this past week. So let me give you a little bit of an update. First, early last week, I was invited to be part of a project called Wegroweco. My friend Chauncey and somebody named Ben, I think, decided to walk across the United States. And as they walk from the East Coast somewhere to San Francisco, they pick up one piece of they pick up trash, at least one piece of trash a day, and organize little eco awareness events with locals. They're documenting their experience and have even created a short video in honor of Juneteenth last week. The part where I helped out on was a poem for their short video, and I translated it to Spanish. Although looking back at it, I kind of feel like I missed some of the subtleties the of what the poem was trying to say, but I think it still came out pretty good. So if you would like to check that out, I will put links to their Instagram page and their short video in the description. Also, last week, my uncle made some barbacoa hidalguense and it was chicken. I was able to take some pictures and videos. But my goal is to eventually get to know how to do it myself. I was a little bit too busy last week since I got my first pretty regular writing gig, and I'm not that quick at writing yet, so that's taking a while, and I'm not doing as much stuff over here as I want to. But that is okay because at least I am making money while I'm over here. Another pretty exciting thing that happened is it's rainy season. Right now, from May through September, it's the rainy season here. So it rains at least once a day. But on Wednesday this week, the rain was especially intense, and it came in through this area right here where the stairs to the second story is going to go, and the house kind of flooded. And I was too much in the mode of getting water out of the house to take pictures or video, but things are fine. Nothing got too messed up, and that area right there should be covered up in no by the end of next month. And the last and most exciting update for me is that I am starting to learn Yanyu with an elder here in town. She prefers not to be on the internet, so I can't record our Yanyu sessions, but we've pretty much just been conversing so I can practice. And I've been learning new vocabulary and kind of learning how to go about talking in conversations in Yanyu with proper grammar, or at least the grammar that is used in this town. So if you're interested in more frequent updates, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Ven Conmigo. If you have any specific questions, make sure to leave a comment. If you have any specific questions, make sure you leave a comment. Interact with this page, please, so that I can give you the updates that you are looking for. But today, I want to talk about the reasons why I decided to move to Mexico. I previously made a video about how going on vacation to Mexico as a kid shaped my values and goals in life. So I've been thinking of coming to Mexico for a long time. In this video, I wanted to be a little bit more specific about three main reasons why I finally made the move to Mexico. first reason is the spirit of community that I see here in Mexico. Every time that I come to Mexico, I feel a sense of community that I don't really see in the United States. And I don't personally always enjoy it 100%. I decide that I want to go on a little trip or hang out with a friend. But sometimes the family here will offer to take me, will offer to drive me, would kind of just like drop everything so that we can all go together, which is really nice. And at the same time, I kind of have developed a sort of introverted side of myself where sometimes I just want to go and do something on my own. And it gets in the way of the independence that I am used to having in the United States. But in the United States, I always get a little bit depressed at kind of like the lack of care that people take of each other. And sometimes it's not that people don't care. For example, when I was living in San Francisco, I was making a lot of money, but most of it went straight to my landlord. And in the end, even though I was doing pretty well and I wasn't living completely paycheck to paycheck, the money that I had left over wasn't really much. And I had to also think about saving money just in case I lost my housing, for example. In the Bay Area, it's not really easy or cheap to come across new housing. So I was kind of feeling helpless to be in community, to get to know the community, and I felt really isolated. That stands in kind of contrast to how I feel in Mexico or even in Southern California, where I have more friends and family. In Mexico, I have my extended family living um, nearby, and I even feel closer to the people that sell me food and the people who own the stores. Even if I knew people in the United States who own stores, I didn't really feel a super deep connection with them. I didn't really feel like they were part of my community or that I was part of their community. They were kind of like a different class of people. The second reason why I decided to come to Mexico is the housing insecurity in the United States. Security is not because of an actual lack of houses. Now, I know that housing insecurity is everywhere, but my experience is a little bit different in the United States than in Mexico. Well, first of all, let me backtrack and say that I'm an Aries and I'm impulsive. I take on seasonal gigs most of the time and chase and have chased jobs around California, and that has gave me a way to travel. And after 5 years of outdoor industry jobs and environmental education, I ended up in San Francisco, the most expensive city in the United States. Ironically, the job that I landed there had my partner and I living farther away from paycheck to paycheck than I had ever lived in my life. But still, living in San Francisco was intense. As I mentioned before, finding a place to live was difficult. Even though I had enough money to pay for a room, I mostly always ended up in housemate situations, which at 31 years old, I was getting increasingly tired of. And I know that's kind of the norm for many people my age, but it just was wearing on me to not have that independence that the United States supposedly has for people. So I had to move 3 times in 3 years, and I was getting really tired of lugging all my stuff around to the smaller rooms that I could afford. And then there was the stress of having to move from expensive room to expensive room. It even caused me some health issues. I really wanted a place that I could just have all my things be. Even if I continue to travel or look for work adventures, I just wanted a place that I could come back to and not have to lug all my things around without having to pay for a storage unit as well. And it also got me thinking about homelessness. San Francisco is in the midst of a deep housing crisis, and as I'm sure it always has. And I found out that there are more empty houses in California than there are homeless people. I couldn't really start the socialist revolution myself, and so instead I decided to not be like those other landlords. My dad had this house that I'm living in now built when his father gave him a small parcel of land. There may have been dreams in the past of living here as a family, of moving from the United States here to Mexico, but the reality was that it was basically just used as a vacation home. And our family always returned to the US so my dad could work, so we could go to school where we grew up. My parents bought a home in Southern California. But me moving out of my parents' home, I was struggling to find stable housing despite me having a pretty good job. And I knew that I would probably never really afford to buy my own home in California. I always skeeved out at like empty or like rundown houses and um, ghost towns and things like that. And I really just imagined myself living there and making use of a really cool building with some history and like not letting a building that could provide shelter go to waste. And yet here in Mexico sat my dad's house empty, going to waste, not even being maintained very well. So I knew I had to do something with this house, and I decided to move in after my dad agreed to give me the house. So right now I'm fixing it up, making it livable, and I'll provide updates about that as well. And I'm doing freelance writing from here to be able to pay for that. And my last reason for deciding to move to Mexico is to escape a work culture that was not working for me in the United States and to work on my own projects. I wanted to kind of be self employed. I have too many things in my mind that I want to do, too many projects that I want to work on that I just couldn't in the United States. I worked full time to pay the bills and the rent, and I didn't have the extra time or energy to develop these projects. I've always loved music. I used to be in a band that I gave up being in because I wasn't really making enough money to spend too much time playing music with the band. I've always wanted to make art and be creative, but I just don't have the bandwidth to be able to work full time, pay my bills, and do art. It's not something that came easy to me in the United States. For a long time, I have also been wanting to learn my ancestral language, Otomi, or Ñañu, and hopefully one day be able to teach it too. Again, I didn't have really much time and resources to do so in the United States. I was able to buy a lot of books, but here, as you all know from my update, I'm actually working on learning my ancestral language and practicing it with folks. And again, to support these projects, I'm doing a little bit of freelance writing. And I'm also making these videos in hope that people watch and subscribe and comment and ad money starts coming in. So please subscribe. So if you want to support my move, my journey to learning my language, and me being able to fix this house up a little better, please subscribe to my channel. Please share my video with anyone you think would find it interesting. Leave a comment, ask a question about my life now that I'm here in Mexico, or let us know in the comments your story of reconnecting with your roots. Better yet, make a video and check the links in the description bar. Nos vemos pronto. Ginsu He. Cuídense and take care.